Hello, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you are watching today's lesson on alignment. And today we're talking about alignment through gratitude. And the reason we're doing this is because gratitude is one of the most powerful healing frequencies that we can embody. And it's not just emotional, it's biological. Now, if your little antenna went up when I said frequencies, I want to dive into this a little bit further because we are energy. The signals that our brain sends to the rest of our body are electrical impulses. We can feel the energy. We can feel it when we are interacting with others. If they've got a negative energy or a positive energy, we can feel that rub off on us. So when we talk about energy and frequencies, these are very prevalent things even today that we need to account for and acknowledge, right? So by now, you've started uncovering some of the things that have been holding you back. You've realized the things that maybe aren't even part of your identity and you're ready to let those go. You've started rewriting the thoughts and beliefs that been holding on to for so long that have been shaping your health and maybe not in a way that you would hope for. So you're learning that mindset just doesn't influence just how you feel in the moment, but it influences your body's actual functions, the hormones, the neurotransmitters. It impacts all of these things. It even alters gene expression. All right. So today we're diving a little bit deeper into this process to activate one of the most healing states in our body. And this is an energy of gratitude. So gratitude is more than a mindset. It's a state of the nervous system, and it tells our bodies that it is safe, it is supported, it is open to receiving. Okay. And when our body feels safe, again, it can shift from survival mode to healing mode. It cannot be in fight or flight in a state of stress and inflammation and a state of healing at the same time. It's trying to put out the fires, but it can't keep up and it can't truly heal when we are constantly in fight or flight. So, when we're dealing with chronic conditions or challenges in meeting our health objectives, we're really focusing on all the things that our body is doing wrong, typically, right? I know I have. We blame it for failing us. And what we're really doing is living in this lower energetic state, the state of, again, stress and inflammation. And I'll tell you that there was a time when I was anything but grateful for my body and my lived experience. I mean, how could I be grateful when I was in so much pain and having so much fatigue that I really felt like something was wrong, right? I was living on caffeine. I was exhausted by dinner time and had no energy left for my family. And the pain on top of that, how could I actually feel grateful? But when I began to see everything that my body was capable of and really began to express gratitude for those things, I began to have more faith in my body, more faith in my ability to succeed on this journey. And the more faith I had in my body's ability, the less pain and fatigue I had. I finally had more days of a pain-free energetic life than days of pain, and things begin to shift when you shift your energy. On top of that, I am so grateful for my journey because as painful as it was, and I'm still on my journey, okay? My life is not perfect. It's not rainbows and butterflies. I do have ups and downs, but things are continuously shifting every day as I implement these practices myself and as I learn more and as I support my body more. And I really have the trust and the faith that it can heal because it can. Okay. But now I am able to help others just like you change their lives for the better. So for that, I will be forever grateful because if I didn't have this experience, I may have never gone down this path, and who knows how my health would have turned out. The rest of my, the second half of my life could have been riddled with even more chronic disease, right? So I'm grateful for this, that I've had a positive impact on myself, on my family, on my community, on women just like you. All right. So this practice is going to shift our energy from that of a lower vibration to a higher vibration of healing and gratitude. So I want to get back to a little bit more about the science of gratitude and healing. And this isn't just for healing, right? This is also to help us with our mental state to move forward, just even sticking with nutrition or a fitness plan. So, any health objective. So, if your goal right now is not healing, this is still applicable, right? But I primarily work with women with chronic conditions, just like myself. So, that's kind of what everything's built on in this challenge. But when we express gratitude, once again, we are allowing our brain to release serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. We lower adrenaline, we lower things like cortisol, and we really activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is that rest, repair, digest. And I want to tell you, you cannot have the sympathetic, which is the fight or flight, and the parasympathetic running at the same time. One is going to dominate and one is going to cause stress and inflammation and pain and fatigue, and one is going to support healing and regeneration. So there's some research to back this up that we're going to talk about briefly. Harvard Medical School actually found that people who practice daily gratitude have stronger immune systems, better sleep, and greater energy. And I read some of your challenge intakes forms. Greater energy is across the board, something that we're looking for. Better sleep is something that some of you are hoping for. And I want to talk about the immune system because the immune system plays a crucial role when it comes to chronic conditions as well as fatigue and hormone production, all of these things. And what we fail to realize sometimes is that when we don't have a strong immune system, pathogens can then make their way into our daily lives. And it may not look like a cold or a flu or a fever, but they are responsible for multiple chronic diseases. And we know this. We know that strep causes chronic disease. We also know that multiple viruses are responsible for cancer. We've found that EBV is actually the root cause of multiple sclerosis, right? All of these things are scientifically proven. So when we have a stronger immune system, it's not just for fighting off colds, it's for warding off, preventing, and reversing chronic disease as well. So that is huge. But moving on, there's a 2015 study in Frontiers of Psychology that showed that continuous or consistent gratitude practice lowers inflammatory markers like CRP, which is C-reactive protein. This is something that is produced by the liver, as well as IL-6, interleukin 6. So this is an inflammatory cytokine of the immune system. So both of these are key players in chronic disease. And this study found that these were lower in people that had regular and consistent gratitude practices. Finally, on the scientific side, neuroscientists have actually shown that gratitude strengthens neural pathways in the prefrontal cortex. So this is the part of the brain that's responsible for decision making, emotional regulation, and healing focused behaviors. So we know when we have an objective, if we are burnt out on making decisions or we're stressed, we're not emotionally regulated, we make poor decisions regarding our nutrition, or maybe we're too stressed to actually get our movement in or our meditation in. So when we have a stronger prefrontal cortex, then all of these things fall into alignment for the better. So gratitude literally is rewiring our brain to see possibility over pain, safety over stress, and healing over hopelessness. All right. So this is a healing frequency. And like I said, we cannot have this gratitude and healing and fear and inflammatory process going on at the same time. So we really want to focus on all of these positive things that we've already been talking about. So it actually completely rewrites the connections, the neural connections in our brain, and it's sending different signals. It's promoting different hormones. It's lowering inflammatory markers. All right. We're getting out of protection mode and leaning into connection and healing, letting our body know that it is safe to heal and to move forward. The other thing that gratitude practice does is help to reconnect you to your body. So there are some theories out there that talk about chronic conditions being a symptom of disconnection from the body. All right. When we're in chronic stress, illness, and pain, it's also very easy to feel disconnected from your body, as if it's failing you, as if it's not yours, kind of like we talked about before. But we're noticing what is working by doing this. We are reconnecting. All right. Even just noticing that our breath, our lungs are still breathing, all right? Our heart is still beating. Our resilience. The fact that you are here in this challenge shows that you are resilient. So you begin to feel compassion and partnership with your body again. So you can feel like this and know that your body is not your enemy, it's your ally. And gratitude is going to bridge that gap to reconnect you to your body, as opposed to feeling like it is something outside of you that is betraying you, because I promise you it is not. All right, so moving forward into today's lesson, we're really going to get into the gratitude practice. So in your workbook, what you're going to do today is really just go through and answer the questions, but really focus on what you're grateful for. What are you currently grateful for that your body is doing today? How is it supporting you? How are you, what are you grateful for in this moment? And then also, what are you grateful for that is coming? All right. And again, with these, we are writing these in the I am framework, because this signals to you that it is. When we say I will, or I want, or in the future, one day I'll have, it implies lack and that we still are incapable. So reinforcing to the subconscious that we have what we need. We just need to support our body. Okay. So again, with these other practices, this isn't just a one-time thing. It's not a one and done. We really need to practice gratitude daily. And this doesn't, for some people, maybe you want to do a gratitude journal. I personally have a gratitude journal that I work through every single morning, but maybe this is just something that you say when you wake up or before you go to bed. It can take less than 30 seconds, just really sitting there. Maybe think of one thing that you're really grateful for. Maybe it's one day you wake up without pain. Maybe it's one day that you're grateful for the fact that you stuck with your nutrition plan, or that you made time for your movement, or maybe you didn't get as much sleep as you had hoped for, but you're grateful for the amount of sleep that you got and that you're rested and restored. So doing these things every single day and weaving it in to our life by picking a time, picking a practice, and just noticing and thanking your body for when it's doing something well for you, and just beginning to shift that focus. So an affirmation that would be great is every time I choose gratitude, I activate healing in my mind and body. Gratitude is my medicine. And you don't have to use this. You can use any form of affirmation or I am statements that you would like, but also lean into that true feeling. And again, this isn't about pretending that everything's perfect. That is not the case. It's about remembering that even in the middle of healing, things that are good are happening inside you. Your body is supporting you in beautiful and wonderful ways. And it does listen when you say thank you. All right. You're not just changing your mood, you're changing your energy, you're changing your chemistry, and you're changing your future. So let me know how powerful this was, what stood out to you the most, something that you're most grateful for, or that you're grateful for that you're calling in. Pop it in the app, and I will see you on tomorrow's lesson.